Thank you for watching Why I Killed You TV. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this particular video on this particular YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Michael Gaine's case was carelessly handled by the Gardaí. Everybody already knows this. This is what we know thus far. There is no credible evidence that the Gardaí detectives from Ireland flew to Waldo County, Maine on Saturday, June the 21st, 2025. Searches around reputable news outlets and public records turned up no reports confirming such a visit. What is documented is that the Gardaí had investigated the case of Michael Kelley, who is an American from Waldo County, who was questioned in Ireland over the murder of a Kerry farmer by the name of Michael Gaine. But the interrogation took place in Ireland, not Maine. So that is a rumor. Okay, still the case of Michael Gaine continues to get attention. Many in Ireland believe that the Gardaí mishandled it right from the start, and some say this is why the killer is still free. There has also been an unconfirmed rumor that the Gardaí detective spoke to a personal friend supposedly in Maine. But this has not been verified by any official source and should be considered just that, a rumor, and not factual. In one of my videos, I did bring up the fact that some people were believing that an alligator might have gotten into the slurry tank. I got that information actually from a reputable Irish podcast here on YouTube. And in that podcast, it was also dismissed that this was close to impossible. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm making this kind of stuff up. Now, let's go back to what the case is doing right now and how it is unfolding thus far. Michael Kelley is still free, but maybe not for long. The Gardaí say they have been very cautious now because they don't want to make another mistake. They're rebuilding their case step by step using solid evidence. The Gardaí is claiming that the next time they knock on Michael Kelley's door, it won't be for questioning, it will be with a warrant. Many people hope that justice finally comes for Michael Gaine and his family, a man that they believe was felled by sloppy police work. In County Kerry, the story is spreading again. A case that once felt ignored is now getting national and international attention, but people are still asking, why didn't the Gardaí act sooner? Why wasn't the slurry tank searched properly and right away? Why did it take weeks to check out Mr. Michael Kelley's background? These questions have led to some serious doubts about how the case was handled. For the first time, Irish and U.S. officials are believed to be working together. This could lead to access to sealed court files or health records. What started as a quiet rural mystery has grown into a cross-border hunt for the truth. Investigators in Ireland are now reviewing everything all over again, including text messages, phone calls, security footage, even receipts and bank account records. They're especially focusing on the chainsaw and industrial cleaning products found on the farm. If anything links those items back to Michael Gaine's death, it could be a major turning point in the case. The Gardaí have also brought in some experts to help figure out how to interview Michael Kelley once again. People with past behavior issues, not saying that Mr. Kelley has a past behavior issue, but often people with past behavior issues often reveal more in later interviews. Now that the Gardaí have documentation from his past, they are planning to dig deeper. The part of the story that you might have heard on other YouTube channels concerning the Gardaí investigators talking to Alicia Snow, who's supposed to be Michael Kelley's former partner, is now being questioned. Since there's no verified record that the Gardaí actually traveled to Maine, the claims about Alicia's comments could be based on unconfirmed reports or rumors. Without official confirmation from the Gardaí or reliable sources, these details should not be taken as factual. What is confirmed, however, is that in 2009, custody court case in Maine described Michael in terms. A judge reportedly called him untrustworthy and said that he had made false claims, including odd accusations that Alicia was using witchcraft on her children. The judge also said that Michael Kelley had trouble separating fact from fiction. The court records do exist and are considered credible. Even with that background, the Gardaí have to be extremely careful now because Michael Kelley has already filed a formal complaint against the Gardaí, accusing them of mistreating him during their investigation. That complaint is being looked into by the Gardaí Ombudsman, the group responsible for reviewing police conduct. This puts extra pressure on the Gardaí to avoid any missteps or bias as they continue on working on the case. But this wasn't the only mistake made in the investigation. Back in May, when Michael Kelley was first arrested, the Gardaí released him just 24 hours later. They said they didn't have enough evidence to hold him. At the time, they hadn't fully searched the property. They hadn't reviewed his U.S. legal history, and they hadn't confirmed any interviews with key people. That early decision might have cost them some valuable evidence. One of the most serious errors came with the Slurry tank. It wasn't immediately searched or secured. By the time they focused on it, it had already been disturbed. That's where Michael Gaine's body was later found. Locals and critics alike wonder how was the most obvious place to look not checked sooner. Now, it's about to get comical because things are about to get worse. The Gardaí decided to pause their investigation for a freaking peer review. While these reviews are supposed to improve investigations, the timing is freaking terrible. It is happening during a crucial window when evidence should still be collected. Instead, the investigators stall as officers review each other's work. Now the Gardaí is trying to fix their earlier mistakes. They're going back through the timeline, comparing statements and studying Michael Kelley's old interviews to see if he's going to contradict himself. They know he has lied before under oath, and they're looking closely for signs that he's doing it again. This case started quietly. A missing man, a suspicious smell, a slurry tank. No one wanted to look inside. A suspicious smell. I mean, hell, we're talking about a slurry tank. At first, it looked like no one was taking it seriously. But when Michael Gaine's remains were found, the case took a dark turn. It was no longer just a disappearance. It was an official murder investigation. Now, while no charges have been filed as of yet, the Gardaí do have something that many cold cases never get. Legal records showing a pattern of strange and dishonest behavior, a suspect with a troubled past, and a growing list of red flags. They may have made mistakes early on, but the Gardaí are taking their time, being cautious and watching closely. And when they make their next move, it will finally be the one that brings justice, hopefully, to Michael Gaines and his family. The man many believe should have been protected from the start. What are your thoughts? Was Michael Gaine's case carelessly mishandled by the Gardaí? Do me a favor. Stay off my bra strap about that alligator, because I wasn't the one who made up the alligator story. It was from your own Irish podcasters who brought up the alligator theory.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.